Welcome to Get to the Point, a show highlighting the importance of recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Join us each episode and be inspired as we bring you conversations with community leaders who share their experiences, expertise, and explore the role that recreation plays in sustaining well-being and success. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the point. It's 2024. It's a new year. What is even going to happen? I don't know, but I'm super excited about our guest. First, though, I want to let you know we do have an amazing sponsor called We Scan Film, and they do exactly what that says. They're super passionate about preserving memories and heirlooms for both current and future generations. So check them out at wescanfilm.com. So the first guest that I have, well, it's only guest for this episode, but the first guest of the year is going to be Desiree from Like Minded Nutrition. She goes by the what do we call you? The name
Cookie Monster Coach?
Cookie Monster. Say that with confidence. You go by Cookie Monster Coach.
Cookie Monster Coach.
There you go. Cookie Monster Coach, which I love because the word cookie has me like super excited.
Who doesn't love cookies?
I mean, and we're going to talk more about cookies, I think. It's going to be like a cookie themed show kind of.
Yes.
But the reality is it is January and everybody's got their resolutions. And I think people still do resolutions. You guys have a store that opened. How long ago was that?
We opened in July of 2023. So
and
we're
you're
still
right
like
there
a baby
in Keller.
store.
You're like right in Town Center.
Yeah, we were in Keller Town Center.
You like walk over to Keller Pointe to say hi to me.
We can.
To bring me cookies.
And we walk right on the trails over there to get to Keller Pointe. It's beautiful. It's nice to be in an area like that where you have like nice walking trails and a nice fitness facility and just everything.
And then we have you guys. Like I can just walk over to your store and get my protein powder.
Yeah.
So, okay. So talking about New Year's. So you are a coach as well.
Yes.
And so with people and their fitness goals, and there's just so much that my head wants to explode kind of. So I as far as fitness goals and what's trending and whatnot, I mean, how does that work? If someone comes to you and they have goals, but are they like, but TikTok's saying this, and like you're like, how do you merge the worlds of, I guess, virtual and reality? Is you ever have to, is that a thing?
I feel like it is just, being present and, taking the time. Like when you walk into Like Minded Nutrition, one of our slogans is the like-minded difference. And so most of the time you're going to meet Anthony, who is the owner, who has handpicked the vitamins, the supplements, all the products on the shelf. And so he's going to take time to get to know you and your goals and ask about your lifestyle and what you do, because people go from 0 to 100 and that's why we fall off. And that's why we don't follow through with things, or, we do it for a few days and then we're like, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Where there's so many little things that you can incorporate in your day to day that's going to make a huge difference. Like getting, a little bit of a walk around your neighborhood or drinking more water. You don't necessarily have to come in and buy a vitamin and a protein. There's little things that you're doing in your day to day that can make a huge difference. Yeah. So taking the time to get to know you. And then if you are looking for a specific product, say like, hey, what do you hope to achieve with that product?
Because it's overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around the fitness industry for 20 plus years, and I've seen GNC and like everywhere that I've gotten like protein powder, and it's like collagen, and it gets to be a lot. Like I don't even know where to begin half the time. So you guys take time to help with that?
Yes. So it's overwhelming for me. Like I'm still learning. This is the journey of LMN is Anthony's vision and dream from the ground up, right? And so I'm his support system to help make it happen. And along the way, that's how I got certified by NASM as a nutrition coach, to be an asset to LMN and also to the community, and to help, and break things down into small actionable steps, right? We don't want to go like, I want to lose 100 pounds in 6 months, and I'm going to cut out dairy and I'm going to cut out carbs. Well, one, that's not realistic. And two, it's going to be hard if you try and change your whole life at one time.
Yes.
So taking small things and meeting someone where they're at. And, if they are looking for help with a nutrition plan, like, okay, well, what do you normally do now? Instead of, I'm not going to sit here and write a full plan and say, you need to eat this at this time, these ingredients, and that's what's going to get you results. Because the reality is, like, I've been there, I've done that. And I honestly failed that, because it's hard if you don't like specific ingredients or you really like this one item. So it's learning self-control and a discipline to be like, okay, I can still enjoy the things I like, but I need to be intentional about when I'm eating it and how I'm eating it and how much and why.
I like that you said the failure portion, because I feel like it's a great thing to fail proof your New Year's resolutions as much as possible, right? And you're saying like by habit stacking and kind of taking some of the stuff in your daily life and just adding or detracting from that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big sweets person.
Yeah.
So my recent snack has been Reese's Pieces. I buy the family shareable size and I eat it over the course of days. It's an evening thing that I do mindlessly while I watch Netflix, so it can 1,000,000% be removed out of my life, and that would be very helpful. So if you're trying to cut back on sugar, but you want some sweet stuff, you do make cookies. I want to talk a bit about these cookies because that's I'm passionate, guys, about sweets, and you've got some. So
yes,
let's talk more about the cookies. Like, where did it come from?
So I also love sweets, as well as Anthony and Kyle, who are the owners of Like Minded Nutrition. So we love sweets, but we also want to care about our bodies and what we're putting into it, and so finding a healthier substitute by making a protein cookie and using almond flour and basic ingredient, you have a delicious treat that you're actually getting a little bit of nutritional value when you're eating it, whereas you're not just getting...
Because there's protein at least. So that's...
Yeah. So with one cookie, you're getting 3 grams of protein, 3 carbs, and 5 fat.
Okay. But what does that mean to people when they hear that?
So that's pretty... So when you're looking at it, you want to get like a nice balance of split between your carbs, your proteins, and your fat. And especially these are good for post-workout.
But I just know a lot of people are scared of fat, right? So like, how does that number... like?
So your body needs fat to run.
It does.
Your body needs fat.
Yeah.
But it's a type of fat. So there's different types of fat, whether you're having a saturated fat, a monounsaturated fat.
Which is the healthier.
Yeah. And so with these, you're getting very low fat, and the fat is coming from almond flour.
Okay.
And then some grapeseed oil.
Okay.
And so you're not getting a ton of extra sugar. Each cookie is 2.4 grams of sugar.
Okay.
But that's pretty low.
Super low.
Yeah. And it's not added sugar
Reese's
either.
Pieces are like 30. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like for like 10. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's not added sugar, which is important.
Yeah.
Because you want to, when you look at those labels too on stuff, you want to look, and you don't want added sugar and super long ingredient lists that you can't read, And so being intentional with finding ingredients that, hey, this cookie has 5 or 6 ingredients in it.
Yeah.
And it's very minimally processed, and it's delicious.
And it sounds doable too, because when you say 5 or so ingredients, like another thing is like, again, people buy a lot of the store-bought baked goods or even that they've already been prepared, because like, for me, like so many steps and you only have a few ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
But it's good too. Like if you think about it, the way I look at it is like all those cookies and snacks you're buying on the shelf too, I look at their expiration dates, right? And you think they're putting all those preservatives and extra things that make them last. Like what is that doing inside your body to...
Is it going to last
to do it? And so, so we really try to like stay away from things like that. Every once in a while, you're like, oh, I just really want this. It'll be so good. And then, normally when you eat it afterwards, you're like, oh, like the next day, you're not feeling your workout. You're just kind of like sluggish and like, man, this is not delightful, And so you notice the difference when you pay attention to what you're putting into your body to fuel it. You'll be more energized. You'll feel lighter. You'll want to go out and be active, as opposed to if you're just eating processed junks and sugary drinks, then you're going to feel that.
So it's like a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Say just like the slightest bit more active, the slightest bit, all these little things that they start adding up.
Yeah.
And then they help you want to do the things that you need to do as you do the things you need to do.
Yeah.
So it's a cycle. Well, okay. So we're going to put the ingredients together.
Yes.
Do you have your bowl?
So I do.
Your stuffs. You want to explain what you put in your cookies?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
So first, I have pre-measured all of the liquid ingredients. So in here we have some grapeseed oil.
Okay.
And we have some agave.
Okay.
And we have some vanilla. And we got our spoon for stirring.
So the agave is kind of sweet. Is that?
Yes, agave is going to be your sugar.
Okay.
With agave, you're not going to get a huge insulin spike.
Okay, that's
so people
important.
that have diabetes or diabetics, you can, it's
everyone
okay.
really.
You can still try it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get a huge sugar spike. It's just going to be like, it's a little sweeter than sugar, I think. But you're not getting a huge insulin spike, which is good. So then we got our cookie scoop. Let's see. So get your bowl. And in here,
so that's doable. That's doable.
Yeah. So you got the ingredients. I have pre-mixed just for time's sake. I've measured out the almond flour and the baking soda.
Okay.
So we'll dump that in first.
Okay. Because usually you do 2 bowls, right? Of dry and wet.
I just do
dry and then wet.
One. I mix up. We'll dump the dry in here and stir them up. Lay the chocolate chips on, and then we'll just dump the wet on top, and then just slightly stir.
Nice. Okay.
So, and one thing with this is you want to make sure you don't over stir.
Okay.
Because then the cookies will be smushy.
And what are we using here?
So we are using all of my protein cookies are made with First Form Level 1 protein.
Okay, and that's what you guys carry in the store, right?
Yes, so
Okay.
we do carry First Form along with other
Yeah.
great brands. Everything's top quality, so
Yeah.
come in and check it
Yeah.
out. Get a sample too. So we will take 1 scoop of, I'm doing a half a batch, by the
Okay,
way,
yeah.
so not a full batch. So you'll take 1 scoop of the protein powder and you just go ahead and
Oh, I
dump
love
it in
that
there.
idea, though. I can put that information out.
Yeah. And also, too, another addition, like you don't have to just do cookies. So
Yeah.
a late night snack like Anthony and I, we'll mix this up with a little almond milk or Fairlife and just have it as a nighttime treat because you're getting a sweet treat. Like you said, you
Yeah.
like sweet. So you're watching your Netflix, mix up a protein shake.
Yeah.
You know, and just have that because it is like a treat. He'll put it in the freezer for a little while so it gets a little thicker.
Nice.
You know, and you're getting that sweet, but then you're not going to get something that's going to keep your body up trying to process it while you're sleeping. And your body's going to be full. Like when you wake up, you're not going to be hungry from eating those empty sugary calories.
Yes.
You're going to have protein.
It's going to be life-changing.
Yeah.
I'm going to starting with resolutions.
You know what? My grandma was here for the Christmas holiday,
Yeah.
and she stayed the night with me, and she's like, "Let me try one of those protein drinks. Mix it up for me." And you know what? The next day, she stopped by the shop, and she had to ship her level 1 vanilla ice cream protein to her house in Arizona. And I've already gotten the text like, "Hey, Des, this is so good. You know,
Yeah.
add my collagen
And it's
in
better
here,
for
too."
you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And then you will mix out. We're gonna do a half a
those are
quarter
fun.
cup of white chocolate chips in here.
Okay.
With that peppermint bar protein.
Love it. Yes.
And then we will mix.
Because you know what? Peppermint bark's good year-round. I don't care what people say.
Me too. Like that's my favorite thing about the holidays.
I like it.
White chocolate peppermint. Okay, so you get your wet ingredients, and you'll just want to stir them up so you can mix the almond flour and the protein together.
Okay.
Along with the chocolate chips. So give that a little mix.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna dump. Hopefully this works. First time I've done.
Sure. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Our ingredients
There we go.
here.
Done with that.
Yeah.
Looks amazing. And you were telling me that also you can, you know how when we were kids, we used to eat raw cookie dough, and then they said, that's bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, you were telling me that you can eat this.
Yes, you can. And so this has almond flour. So unlike regular traditional white flour, you can actually eat this raw.
Okay.
And so we have no eggs, no funky stuff like that needs to be cooked. So you can eat this dough just how.
So even if you're like a cookie dough fanatic, like I've seen cookie dough stores popping up. Like an ice cream store. Like that's a huge thing.
Definitely.
And now there's an even easier.
Yeah, we've done that and made like little cookie bites. Just like put them in the fridge for a day or two. And I wouldn't keep them past like 2 or 3 days in the fridge. But
Well,
they're very
'cause,
good. So
no
your dough's going to
preservative.
look just like this when you're done.
And then you scoop it in?
Yeah. So then we'll use this little cookie scoop right here. You don't have to use a cookie scoop. I just find it to keep everything consistent and, macro-wise, which macros are important when people are in the fitness, health and wellness, fitness. Like they like to keep track of,
6 on here.
what they're having for their meals. They want to know how much protein, how much carbs and things like that. So
Perfect.
keeping them the same size
Yeah, that really does help.
helps to track.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I made this recipe in so many ways. In the scanning, the apps today, you can totally scan the ingredients, make your recipe for the exact ingredients you're using.
Gorgeous. Okay.
And then the one last thing you do here is you're just going to want to smush them down a little bit.
Smush them down.
If not,
Smush them down.
they're still going to taste delicious, but they're going to
A
be
little doughier? Or?
they will be doughier,
Okay.
which is Anthony and I love them a little doughier.
Yeah.
But then they don't it looks like the shape of a cookie. They end up like a little volcano.
Oh, so these are great cookie-shaped cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, so before the show, I went ahead and consulted with AI because that's a big thing in 2024. And I asked AI to please make me an invisible oven to use to cook our cookies. And so you guys can't see it, but it's right here. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the invisible oven. Ding! And the cookies are done. Look at this, guys. Wow. First of all, AI has come a long ways. But oh my goodness, I'm so excited. We're not going to try them just yet. I just wanted to get them all pretty right here for you. And we'll come back to those and we'll actually see how they turned out. See how that invisible oven did on that. So, okay, Anthony, I wanted to just briefly touch on his story. So he is the owner, but he has his passion for this industry comes from where? Because I've heard his story and I just want like a little bit about his story for people.
So Anthony at one point was almost 400 pounds. He was driving 18-wheelers.
Okay.
He went to the doctor and found out he was pre-diabetic and it was not okay,
Yeah.
And so he decided to make small changes in his life with eating. He was meal prepping on the road.
Yeah.
learning about supplements and vitamins. And he came along, Andy, and First Form and 75 Hard.
Okay, which
And
is a
so-
fitness thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they are known for 75 Hard, Andy Frisilla,
Okay.
and one of his companies is First Form.
Okay,
And so,
okay, that's how I found that. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's a huge fitness community.
Yeah.
And so he got involved with that, and he's now done 75 Hard, I believe, 2 times.
Okay.
He's going to do a 3rd time this year. Once we hire our first employee, he's going
Yeah.
to do 75 Hard again. So he worked at GNC for years
Okay.
as well. And he was in the corporate, the franchise, management, employee.
So you kind of got to know the whole business.
Yes. And so he got to learn about all the supplements more and the vitamins and the benefits of all of that stuff.
Okay.
And so this idea of like-minded nutrition came from that, where there's things they do great, but then there's things that could be done better.
Yeah.
And
That's a good way to phrase it.
yes. And so he wanted to open up a space where everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be any specific type of fitness or any group. It's like everyone's welcome, whether you're my grandma
That should
or
be
whether
that should be
you're
your,
a
like, tagline.
bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And so
Like your place is like the Friends Coffee House.
yeah, it's so fun.
I mean, seriously, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. It was so random. When I popped in to chat with Desiree about the show last week, my friend Will, who I hadn't seen in years, comes in, and he is connected through the 75 Hard or whatever. And
yeah.
But so, okay, it was just funny because he is part of Dallas Producers. I'm part of Dallas Producers. It was this funny thing. And then also the RevFit guy comes in and we're all just like, hey.
Yeah.
And it was just like cheers or like, like the coffee shop for friends,
Yeah.
it's just like a place, like you're saying, everyone's welcome, because it was like such a fun little surge of energy, I
Yeah.
think. And then, I guess for the day, it just gave me like a boost. You know what I mean? I left there feeling like super energized.
And that's what we're about. And that's one thing that, being with you, like you've helped us tremendously since we've opened our doors. Jess Bond has been there like, hey, I'm from Keller Pointe. Like, let's work together. You brought us into Keller Pointe. And you've introduced us to so many people. And so it's cool that the community is that connected. And so
It
Will
is.
came in, because him and Anthony do F3 together. And
Yeah.
there's another person, in the strip, they do F3. And then we've got connected with RevFit from Will.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, my wife said this, y'all should connect with them. And they just opened in Keller, 5 minutes from us, which we should totally go try sometime.
I mean, I'm always game to see what's out there. For
we
sure.
have a scanner in our store, so you can come scan it and you get 2 free weeks to work out there.
But what I'm hearing you say is also how amazing Keller Pointe is,
Yeah.
and how important it is to make sure you get to Keller Pointe
Yeah,
for your workouts.
definitely.
As
We
well.
also have day passes for Keller Pointe.
I know,
from
right?
Jess.
So there's
Sorry, I
that.
get so excited.
Ooh,
I get
and-
so excited.
And I love this too, because like it is such a great community. Everybody like helps each other, right?
Yeah.
And so you guys just came on board with us to do the 10% off for our members.
Yes.
So I've been working on it like behind the scenes thing, and I'm really excited to send that out soon when we have like our finalized list
Yeah.
of the local businesses that are offering that for Keller Pointe members. So then they can just bring in their card
Yeah.
and get a discount with you guys.
Yeah.
Super
it's
excited.
Awesome. It's awesome to be able to be a part of something like that and to offer that incentive to people to be like, hey, just come in and check us out. We're offering you 10% off.
It's
And-
win-win.
And knowing everything in there, like we are very reasonably priced for being the small guys.
Yeah.
Or we could easily charge higher prices because we are small. Hey, come support our small business. But
Mhm.
that's not what we're about. Like we generally want to help everyone and
Yeah.
their health and wellness. Our life depends on it. And so being that space where we can open it up, charge reasonable prices, and you can rest assured knowing that all the brands we carry on our shelf are top quality. We have third-party lab tested, banned substance tested, stuff that's approved for collegiate and professional athletes, as well as trademarked and patented
Yeah.
ingredients. So everything you have is good, and the owner that
And
you're
there's
going to get.
cookies.
Yeah, you can get the cookies. I do fresh cookie drops every Friday.
Fresh Cookie Fridays. Is that
Yes.
what they're called.
So I
Should
drop them
totally
off
hashtag
exclusively at Like Minded Nutrition, Keller
Fresh
Town
Cookie
Center, where you can
Fridays.
get them.
I mean, I'm down. I'm gonna start showing up on Fridays. It's gonna be the place to be. What time? What's the time?
The shop opens at 10.
What
so
time are the cookies there?
The cookies come at 10.
Okay. I feel like there's a
Yeah.
Fresh Cookie Friday party coming up.
Yeah, there should be. And while you're there, we have.
because you guys are so good at community things. Go ahead with that. Sorry.
So, and while you're there, also, you can grab a sample of the level 1 protein to
Yes.
try as well. So we have an 8-foot sample bar that the guys
I was
built
gonna mention
in the
that.
shop,
That's
and it has
fabulous.
some bar stools. You can sit, talk products, just talk about life and your goals. Like, let us, get to know you and just help you on your journey. That's what it's about, is just being that support system and that encourager of someone. Like, everyone needs a little encouragement. And then also providing that value of like giving you the knowledge about products. So even if you come in and you're like, hey, I want to talk about these things I heard about, like what's protein, what's creatine, what's the benefit,
Yeah.
and we'll provide you those answers. And even if you're like, hey, I want to go check on it and I'll come back, that's awesome. That's still a win because you came in and you put yourself first to be like, hey, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to ask some questions. Then I'm going to go do a little research to make sure like they're telling me the truth, which we are, and then they'll come back, and we've seen that where we've given a sample to someone and they come back, man, that's so good. And then they buy that and then they
I'm
get
back.
something
And
else.
the first time I met you guys, Anthony sat down with me.
Yeah.
We went over a bunch of things. I had my questions and I ended up getting the strawberry protein.
Yeah.
And I keep it at work so I can put it in the shaker,
Yeah.
kind of like end of work day, I guess, and then have my energy and enough in me to go work out.
Yeah.
So I'm not like lagging and dragging to the gym.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say real quick on community too. You guys are super, super, super big about that. You guys do like you guys host things, and for support systems, I think it's huge to have that aspect. But you're big on that. So you guys tell us a little bit about what you guys do. You guys kind of partner with other local places, and you have.
So we started in November.
Okay.
LMN Collective, so Like Minded Nutrition Collective, and we hosted at our shop. And so what we do is
which is great because you bring people in.
Yeah. And so we will invite like 4 to 5 local business owners or, some type of vendor that is in the health and wellness field to come in because, the health and wellness field is huge. It's not just proteins. It's not just gyms. There's, IVs and hydration. There's chiropractors. There's
mental
acupuncture,
well-being.
Yeah. And so opening up our space and inviting different vendors that are local to Keller, in the surrounding area to come in and we all cross advertise it and say, hey, just come out, check it out. There's going to be, I always have the protein cookies for free at the event. So that's another good time to come check them out. We just open our space to everyone so people can come in. If you've ever wondered about, hey, what's acupuncture about? Here's an opportunity to come out and meet the people that are doing that in your community and see like, hey, maybe I vibe with them or maybe that's not what I was thinking, maybe I'll try something else, And so it gives you the opportunity to meet new people as well as opening up the space for these vendors to connect with each other and do events at
which
their
I think
places.
is huge. I think you guys, y'all get that. I mean, connecting with other people and everybody succeeding is the best way to do life. I love that. Okay, so I'm trying to think. So as far as trends, when the trends are there, do you guys just try to just focus on the overall picture? Do you guys ever deal with trends? Like, what was it? Plant-based stuff was a big deal last year.
Yeah.
Do you guys kind of keep up with that sort of thing, or is it like, how does that work with you?
I feel like as far as trends, like you said, trends come and go.
Yeah.
Right. Trends aren't always necessarily facts.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the big thing with the internet, like somebody's populating that information, somebody's driving everyone to it. And so you have to be careful, and it comes down to knowing the basics of the body and how your body processes things, but then also taking the time to get to know people. Like, hey, why are you trying plant-based? Like, what are your goals here? What's driving you this way? Yeah, because it's so easy for people. TikTok is huge, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, on TikTok, everyone is taking this and they're getting these results.
Yeah.
Well, number one, every single body is different.
Yep.
So no two people are going to respond to the same thing exactly the same. And then also that may not be the healthiest, most accurate approach to get the results you're trying to get. And so really, it's not as much as keeping up on trends as it is taking the time to get to know the person and what their goals are and helping them find the correct thing that's going to align with their goals and knowing that, hey, this is what we have here. And you know what, if we don't have it, the beauty of being a small business where you're ordering your brands and your products is, hey, we can actually get that and we can get it here next week or in 2 weeks. Bring in specific flavors or specific vitamins or like a liquid vitamin, something like that. We can do that because we don't have to go get 5 people to sign off. We're like, yeah, let's get that in here for you. That's going to help you. We're going to do it,
And you can come on a podcast like a week notice. And I'm like, hey, Desiree, do you want to be in a, like, today, talk about New Year's, talk about resolutions, talk about all the health stuff. So, okay, the cookies, we do need to try one, I think.
Okay.
Right?
I think so.
So, okay, what are the flavors on here?
I think that since you were talking about how you love Reese Pieces, need to try the middle one because that is chocolate peanut butter.
Okay.
So that is the level 1 milk chocolate protein with peanut butter chips.
I can see the little chips. I'm going to try that bite, actually.
Yeah, it's so good. They might be my new favorite combination because they taste like a Reese.
Yeah. I might have to swap out my ridiculous bag of candy.
They're so good.
That is delicious.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. That's very yummy.
Yeah.
I like it.
And they're soft too. So if you cook them because you don't have to cook them that long. They cook like 7 or 8 minutes.
That's it?
And so,
What?
Yeah.
All
So
this stuff is so doable.
So to make a full batch from start to finish, it's less than an hour, and that includes washing up the dishes. So
that is really good.
yeah.
I didn't realize you had that flavor until
So it's really good. It's good, like especially with like a nice glass of milk or.
Well, and I like that like you actually took the information I gave you about how much I eat because like earlier I was like, oh, the peppermint bark, but then you're like, and so you'll do that as a coach. You kind of listen to people, and even if they say things like peppermint bark, but you're like, but I heard you say Reese's Pieces. Yes. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's such a great way to do things. Okay, so before we close out, I do want to just go ahead and thank our sponsor again at We Scan Film, and you can go to WeScanFilm.com for more information. And then where can we find out like about Like-Minded Nutrition, about your coaching? Where all can we go for that stuff?
So likemindednutrition.com is our website.
Okay.
So you can find information about us and our mission there.
Okay.
Also on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
So we're trying to grow our Facebook. So if you see this and you're on Facebook, you should go give us a like, a follow. That'd be
Do
much
they get a free
appreciated.
cookie?
They could.
Sure.
They could. Yeah, I'll give you a pack of cookies, a little 2-pack.
Yeah. You just come in and say
I'll
you
bribe
liked
the
it.
people. I'll bribe the people because you know what? I'll give them to you free and you're going to come back and buy them.
And then you're going to come back by the protein stuff and start making them yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? And they were free.
It's going to be a whole, and that's going to be the trend for this year.
Yeah.
Cookie Monster cookies. Cookie Monster Coach cookies. What do we call it? Friday. What do we call it? Friday? Free Cookie Friday?
Yeah, the fresh cookie drop.
Fresh Cookie Fridays.
Something like that. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Hashtags here. There's got to be something that like we can start.
The branding's coming.
We can start a whole movement around this though. I'm just saying.
It's new though. It's new.
I love it.
So,
like I can't wait to get done with the show and eat the rest of that cookie and then probably another one.
Yeah.
Just to round it out, you said 2 cookies per pack. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we're going to close out the show. You ready? Do you think we can do it? Well, okay. Thank you again for joining us, everybody. Super excited to have you like us, comment on things so I know what to change in the future if you have different questions. If you have any questions too, like we can always follow back up and answer them. So just ask in the comments. But thanks for joining us. What are you waiting for? Get to the point.